What happened to Color Me Bad, the chart-topping R&B group that vanished? If you had a radio or a TV in the early 90s, you definitely remember Color Me Bad. With their smooth harmonies, flashy style, and a knack for irresistible hooks, this R&B boy band was everywhere. But after dominating the charts with hits like I Wanna Sex You Up, I Adore Mi Amor, and All for Love, they seemed to just disappear as quickly as they arrived. So what exactly happened to Color Me Bad? Well, let's find out. The band formed in Oklahoma City in the late 80s. The original lineup included Brian Abrams, who was the lead vocalist with that powerhouse voice, Mark Calderone, the smooth second lead and background vocalist, Evan Thornton, the baritone who brought soul to the group, and Sam Waters, the versatile singer and songwriter. The guys caught their big break in 1990 when they performed backstage for producer Louis Silas Jr., who was so impressed that he got them a deal with Giant Records. Their first single, I Wanna Sex You Up, exploded in 1991, thanks in part to being featured in New Jack City. The song hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, went platinum, and became a defining track of the early 90s. That same year, they released their debut album, CMB, which spawned 2 more number 1 hits, I Adore Mi Amor and All for Love. By 92, Color Me Bad had established themselves as one of the biggest R&B groups around, even winning an American Music Award for Favorite Soul R&B New Artist, and appearing on the hit TV show Beverly Hills 90210, where the boys beat the snot out of David Silver for stealing their dance moves. Despite their massive early success, things started to slow down by the mid-90s. Their 93 follow-up album, Time and Chance, saw a shift toward a more mature hip-hop influenced sound, but it didn't have the same commercial impact. While the album still went gold, it was clear that their popularity was fading. And by the late 90s, shifting musical trends and internal tensions took their toll. Their 1996 album, Now and Forever, failed to gain traction, and after their self-titled 1998 album completely flopped, Color Me Bad disbanded at the end of the decade. Behind the scenes, personal issues were also at play. Brian Abrams struggled with health and substance abuse, which led to tensions within the group. And, while some members pursued solo projects, none saw the same level of success that they had with the group. So what exactly happened to the guys at Color Me Bad after that breakup? Well, Bryan Adams, once the group's standout lead singer, he faced some serious struggles over the years, including legal issues and rehab stints. He attempted solo music projects but never reached the same level of fame. In recent years, he's focused on recovery and family. Mark Calderone, he stayed active in the music industry, performing with a reformed version of Color Me Bad and working on solo material. Evan Thornton, after leaving the group, he pursued a career in ministry and gospel music. And Sam Waters, perhaps the most successful, he found success behind the scenes as a songwriter and producer. He's worked with big names like Jessica Simpson, Kelly Clarkson, and Fantasia, proving that his talents exceeded far beyond Color Me Bad. In 2010, Mark and Brian briefly reunited to tour under the Color Me Bad name, but their comeback was overshadowed by onstage drama. In 2018, Brian was arrested for shoving Mark during a live performance in New York.
Thank you, Colorado! We Color Me Bad! Thank you all for coming! Well, I'm sorry you guys had to see that. I'm so sorry.
The two bandmates tried to work things out, even appearing on the Dr. Phil show.
I've known Brian ever since 9th grade. We're like brothers. It's been an amazing journey over the last 30 years. We've opened up for Bon Jovi, Tony, the OJs. We were a unit. We were a team. Grammy night, I remember that night, we trusted each other. We wrote songs together. He had my back, I had his. For years, we've all tried to manage his drinking. Nothing works. One time, we were in Australia, and he walked into Vanilla Ice's dressing room and took his alcohol. It's just embarrassing because they'll catch him, and then they'll tell me about it. It's just a bad look for us. We were up for a residency gig in Las Vegas. After the incident happened, it was just completely gone, man. Up. Last year, he comes and blindsides me, shoves me to the ground. I get up, I'm looking around, and I look back, and I see Brian walking off, saying, I'm Color Me Bad. I was just in shock. I couldn't believe that somebody, my brother would do that. I was assaulted, and his ass went to jail after that. I have a restraining order against him because I don't know what he's capable of doing. I think the reason why Kim has been upset with me is because I haven't forgave Brian for what he's done. And it was the text messages that came after, the emails, the threats. Now, I've always accepted his apologies, but enough is enough.
I find the whole thing hypocritical. Mark will say that he stands by Brian publicly, but then he will go to the media and bash him.
I think Kim and Brian have this relationship where they're very codependent on each other. And I think Brian would be completely lost without her. Sometimes I don't understand why she puts up with it. I know one thing, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm done.
Well, Mark says since he was pushed, they have barely spoken, but yet you continue to do shows?
Yes.
The two of you together?
Yeah, contractually, we do fulfill our contracts, yeah.
Okay, how do you do that with a restraining order in place?
The first restraining order that we had, we could work together. We could do business together.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, and then this other recent restraining order, that's where we had to shut everything off.
Where are you in your relationship with Brian?
Right now,
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to Brian. I haven't talked to Brian since last July. I'm here to support him. I want him to see me get help.
Despite their rocky ending, Color Me Bad left an undeniable mark on the 90s pop and R&B scene. Their music still gets played on throwback radio stations, and their songs have been referenced in shows like Scrubs, Glee, and even The Office. Also, according to the Color Me Bad social media pages, even though Mark Calderone is the lone original member, that new version of the group is still active today, with performances scheduled throughout the spring and summer of 2025. Maybe I'll go. So, do you listen to Color Me Bad? Do you remember them? Which song was your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and follow for more 80s and 90s nostalgic content like this.